So what's happening, YouTube? Welcome to John TV. And on this episode, I have another reaction video on the channel. And on this video, man, we will be talking and reacting to Ja Morant, man. Of course, if you are a basketball fan or not, man, I mean, this is big time news, whether, you're a sports fan or not. Ja Morant, man, he's in a little bit of heat right now, man. A little bit of trouble over some gun violence things. Well, not necessarily gun violence, but flaunting a gun on live and all that stuff, man. So he's in some hot water. And I was actually working on a video pertaining to that, but I came across Gilbert Arenas, man. Talking about Gilbert Arenas giving some insight and advice to Ja Morant. So I mean, for those of y'all that are basketball fans that know what happened with Gilbert Arenas, a gun actually ruined his career. Ended up getting suspended for like 50 games, paid a lot of money, and his career wasn't the same after that, man. And it's really interesting to see what he has to say to Ja Morant. So I'm not going to waste too much more of your time, man. We're just going to go ahead and get right to the video.
It's just putting it in a language that, because it has to be reality. Okay, ask it again.
All right, for sure. All right, now, Gil, if you could give Ja one piece of advice, and I want you to look into your camera. If you could give Ja one piece of advice, what would that be?
At 23, you really are not really listening to anybody at the time because we feel invincible.
Yeah.
So I want to let them know that you're not invincible, right? We're not. This is just the beginning, and everyone that comes into contact with you, you're not going to be able to trust because you don't know if they're trying to trip you up some more. You don't know if they're going to be genuine. So now this is really a eye opener to see what the world is really like. Your life has actually changed, and you don't even know. When it comes to tiers, you were a one-tier player. You're supposed to be the future.
Yeah.
And this is just real reality.
Hey, and it's sad, man. Oh, it's so sad, man. This dude was in the MVP conversation leading up to this year, all-star starter and the whole 9 yards, man. And it's scary, man, because this dude, I mean, his talent, man, it's unquestionable, bro. It's almost unreal what this dude could do, man. And people, they're just not gonna look at him the same, man. And for those of y'all that like with me, I came from a good parent household, man. I mean, the household was split, but both my parents were active in my life. And it's like, Ja has good parents. His dad is active in his life. His mom is active in his life. I know they worked hard to put him in position to be where he's at now, man. And it's like, man, like, what are they thinking? Because Ja's a good dude. He's a good dude, man. I don't know why he's acting like this. You made it to the top. You got a guaranteed $200 million contract. And it's like, what are you doing? I'm not going to beat Ja up, man, but it's tough, bro, because like me watching this, I think about my parents, and it's like just the feeling of disappointing them. It will be hard for me, so I can't imagine what Ja's going through.
Because no one's going to tell you this. You are number one. You, Luka, Tatum, all that. They have now bumped you to tier 2, tier 3.
Yeah.
No matter what you go out there and do, moving forward for at least the next 3 years, you're going to be behind those players because of the image. You're going to have to really sit back and like re-image yourself, unfortunately. it's just it's just one of those things where you want to be mindful, but you still have to be a little real. If you don't get voted in the All-Star game, those coaches are gonna look the other way. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
things are gonna happen no matter how good you play. So
And it's like what I'm kind of getting from in this video, man. Gilbert's kind of like just giving them like a heads up of how things is going to be for him because his image is tarnished, and people, whenever they make decisions, is based completely off of perception, how they perceive you as a person. Just like with Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens is probably the second greatest wide receiver to ever play behind Jerry Rice. He got the stats to back it up. He has the skill set to back it up. And it took him multiple attempts to get into the Hall of Fame when he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. Why? Because of perception. The way people looked at him. People don't look at you just because what you're able to bring to the table, what you could do, your skill set, how great you are. People is looking at the whole package. Who you are as a person. Are you nice? Who you hang around? All that stuff is in question. So it sucks, man. Like I said, Ja Morant's 23 years old. I'm 27. So I'm about 4 years older than him. But it's just tough, dog. Because his career is not going to be the same. He just did something with Powerade. And, I mean, people talking about what Nike's going to do with him and all that stuff. So it's scary, bro. But things are not going to be the same for him. So back to the video.
It's one of these things where for the next 3 years, you're really going to have to duck your head and just play basketball, still keep your same personality and not get in trouble for you to get back to who you were 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago before any of this started. So, I just want to tell you that, it's going to be a tough one, especially mentally, just watching how everything unfolds around you. But just understand at the end of this dark tunnel, there will be light. And, the Kobe's, me now have came out of it,
Now you hear him reference Kobe Bryant. And for those of y'all that don't remember, man, it's like I hate to bring stuff like this up, but Kobe, he was in some legal trouble due to this lady with some sexual misconduct allegations and stuff like that, and people looked at Kobe differently from that. And whenever I made that comment that Kobe was robbed of a couple MVPs, he was robbed of a couple MVPs due to this. All right, the Denver, Colorado incident, man, and it's a big old tarnish on his career and all that stuff, man. And let that not have happened, he would definitely have at least 3 MVPs. The MVPs they gave to Nash, no disrespect to Steve Nash. None whatsoever. But they belong to Kobe. Both of them. Both of them belong to Kobe Bryant. Some may argue like, oh, LeBron. Oh, Chauncey Billups. Oh, Dirk Nowitzki. Kobe was the MVP. Both of those years Steve Nash won. And there's no hate towards Steve. But we talking about the most valuable player of the year. A guy that's averaging 11 assists, 14, 18 points per game. I mean, I know they had the best offensive rating in the league, but come on, man, it belonged to Kobe. So this is the things that I'm talking about, man. Whenever voters make decisions, they're not thinking about, man, this dude was averaging 35 points a game. Or, man, this dude right here, man, his team got the second best record in the West. He's averaging 27, 8. And they don't care about that. They're going to say, well, hey, I mean, he got a bad image. He's waving a gun on live. That's all they're going to think about. And this dude, like Gilbert said, he is a tier 1 player. But this is all they're going to think about, man. I'm not trying to beat Ja up because Ja really needs our support right now. The basketball fans. The community. He needs support. He don't need everybody to be beating him down, all that stuff. Personally, I'm a fan of Ja. I'm a fan of Ja Morant. I love it when you got a father-son duo, a father that backs his son 100%. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't want to see anything bad happen to Ja, but the writing's kind of on the wall here, man. It depends on how he react from this and how, well, it just depends on where you go from here.
Just stay strong, keep working, and then, let your game play for itself. Right now, this is when you really just shut the world out and just play basketball and, just try to be mindful of the things you say, the things you do. But it's going to be, you're going to have to, work on your image again for you to be put back in that top 3, because no matter what anyone tells you, you are now in top 2, top 3. You're going to be I guess the Trae Young, you're going to be averaging 28 and 10, and they're going to somehow leave you off the All-Star game. All that's about to happen, unfortunately. But, just mentally be prepared for it and, just keep going.
That's well said.
And the reason why Trae Young was left off the All-Star game is because he played for Atlanta. Okay, it's not because dude cannot hoop. Dude could hoop. He was an All-Star starter before. So I mean, this is kind of what Gilbert's saying. Like, hey, you could play, but they're gonna forget about you. So.
You know what I mean? It's like you don't want to say that. You don't want to say it because you don't know how someone's going to perceive it. You know what I mean? It might look like, hate when it's like, I just want to tell you the truth because I know
you went through it.
How it works.
Well, I mean, you see how
you went through
the media will turn on anybody. Mm-hmm. And like I said, you have a Washington Post report, but people will take that as gospel when the NBA has already investigated a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. So if they've done their investigation, but they'll look at this report as if it's not alleged that this is what actually happened, because there's no video right now to support either side.
The media is gonna. You gotta remember, the media is gonna beat you up before there's even any facts. They're gonna find you guilty before the NBA even does anything. So, it's one of those things. Is be careful of the words you say when you do have to talk to media. Keep it just basketball and. For the next 2-3 years, just, stay on that path and just understand that, your goal right now is to be back where you were 2 weeks ago. And that, unfortunately, that's going to take about 2 years.
Is there any way to speed up the process?
Nope.
Winning the chip?
No, winning the chip. I can tell you this, and this is going to sound like real brutal. Real brutal. The last step before crossing that finish line of image changing is he's going to have to cut his hair and become clean, look ungangsteristic, looking so far away from the music that they think he's mimicking, or Memphis. Yeah,
so more Demetrius than Ja.
Whoo. Let me know what y'all think in the comments on that, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I don't really have words for that, man. I mean, you have to change your image. You do. You gotta. Man, that's whoo. That's deep. I don't have anything to comment on with that. I mean, man.
Yeah, it's like putting on a gangster putting on a suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want you to, it's like when a gangster rapper goes on the court and, he has a suit on, got the glasses to try to look, presentable, and that's
or what their definition of presentable is. Yeah. I mean, look,
and that's just the harsh truth. They're not going to say it, so I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what you're going to have to do, what's going to happen, because they're not going to say it. They'd rather just beat you up the whole time.
Shout out to Gilbert Arenas, man. Shout out to Gilbert Arenas, man. With Gilbert, man, like I said, for those of y'all that wasn't watching basketball in the 2000s, man, Gilbert Arenas is by far one of the best two guards to ever play the game. One of the best scorers in the history of the game. whenever you look at peak in the stretch. So his career was ruined due to gun violence or just handling a gun. He had a gun in the locker room and they suspended him 50 games. They talking about, I was reading something today and they mentioned that with Ja Morant, he could possibly face a 50-game suspension because he had a gun on a team plane since the live happened in Colorado. How can a gun get from Memphis to Colorado unless you bought it in Colorado? If he brought it with him and it was on that team plane, they said he could face up to a 50-game suspension. So that's definitely going to hurt his legacy because there's not even 50 games left in the NBA season right now. I don't know if they count the playoffs. So it's like, it's sad because Memphis, they was on a roll. They was on a roll, man, and they lose Ja for 50 games. I mean, that's still a good team, but you're missing a top 5. Is he top 5? You're missing a top 10 player in the league with Ja Morant. So I was gonna make a video about Ja, man, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it. Appreciate you watching this reaction video, man. Like I said, shout out to Gilbert. No Chill with Gilbert Arenas, man. This is one of the best YouTube channels out there, man. The way this dude breaks down the game, the way he talks about real life stuff, man. I mean, dude got something going on with this YouTube channel, man. And prayers for Ja, man. All you can do is pray for Ja. That's it. I hope he bounce back from this. I hope he get another opportunity to redeem himself. It all depends on what he does from here. But anyway, man, I appreciate you watching. Love you. Peace.